The following documentary short film was made by Ben Gregory, class of 2009, as part of his Eagle Scout project. Ben organized more than 15 people, over 100 man-hours were logged, and he conducted valuable oral histories. In addition to giving MBA this film, Ben has donated this valuable footage and typed transcriptions of the interviews to the Patrick Wilson Library. And now, the feature presentation.
I think for me the motto of MBA really typifies and exemplifies what MBA is all about, that it really asks you to be successful in 3 different ways, and it really forces you to be disciplined and rigorous in respect to that. And to me it's something that is a great rallying cry for the student body here and for the faculty to really focus on what is important about being in the world and being in business, whether you're in business, whether you're in the arts. It's sort of a motto to really live your life by.
This motto of gentleman, scholar, athlete that the school has is absolutely priceless, because it so cogently defines the entire MBA experience and the balance that the school is trying to inculcate into every single boy, as well as every single faculty member and every other member of the MBA community, and to the worldwide community, the community outside the MBA community. It communicates to them exactly who MBA is so precisely and so well. So I think it's very important, and it's a great asset for the school to have. We're lucky that a headmaster came along and provided us with this incredible motto.
I think it's very important that gentleman came first, and then scholar, and then athlete. I think when we're in school, we're thinking about our scholastics and we're thinking about athletics, but as we get older in life, we see that the gentleman that we were taught at MBA is probably should be first.
You really are expected to be that. You're known as a gentleman scholar, athlete, and I think it gives a very tangible, it's just a tangible picture of what's expected.
Not everybody, in fact, probably most people in this country don't have the values that someone from MBA has. And so it's almost like a language.
I think the other one that's a little less tangible but more important is your reputation and honesty. So certainly with the honor code here being such a main part of it, I think honesty, and when you get compliments on that, it makes you really feel good. So I think that that's something that I've always, you've just seen practiced here. You see how important it is, and you really see how important it is out in the real world.
Integrity in business is something that's really, really important to me, and I've been in a number of situations where I've not been surrounded by people who had the integrity that I felt they should have. And I find more and more that I don't want to work around those kinds of people. And I really choose who I work with very carefully, because it doesn't work out well when you're around people that you don't trust or you don't admire and respect. And life is so short that there's no point in surrounding yourself with people that you don't want to be surrounded by.
When I got into the profession, we have in law what we call a board of professional responsibility. And it's, once again, a lengthier oath than our honor code oath, but it's basically the similar principles. And if you don't abide by that, then you'll be kicked out of that profession. And the same thing goes for the judges. We have our oaths of judicial conduct, and we're required to abide by them. So I think the lessons you learned about honor and integrity at MBA are things that you know, stay with you even in your professional life. I think most professions have similar type codes of conduct.
And as you got in and out of MBA at Vanderbilt, it was very similar. There was an honor code at Vanderbilt, a plagiarism code that was very strong, and it seemed just as natural as the rain coming down. It was just the right way it was. You hated the long hours. I remember complaining to Miss Lowry about, there's no way you can get all you give us in 30 minutes. And her answer was always the same. Dudley, 30 minutes of applying yourself is worth 2.5 hours of non-committed studying. You can do it in 30 minutes. Every single boy can.
And I certainly remember, you know, Andy Gaither and the work that he did trying to take me through the Latin classes. And also Dr. C in particular, because he's the person who really helped me discover my path in theater. I was not a theater guy when I was here. I was an athlete here, and had never really experimented with theater until he decided to do a play and cast me in it. And that moment was really transformative for me. I really kind of discovered something that I wanted to do and was passionate about doing in that one moment. And so I think that I really look back at MBA as, you know, being a place where I kind of grew up and refined and decided who I wanted to be.
Teachers make the school. Brick and mortar are nice to have it, and we've certainly got great brick and mortar here, but the teachers are what make the school. And he's developed a faculty, I think, that is the best, not only in the South, but I think it compares with any school nationally. I think what MBA does right now is phenomenal, and it seems to stick with the students. I mean, when they go on to college and later in life, they're giving back to the community right from the get-go.
The school's about 90 degrees as far as seems from a mission standpoint, still gentleman scholar athlete, but from a practice standpoint, much more, you know, service activities.
It is heartening to see that MBA has changed a little bit and recognizes that you know, public service, particularly for incredibly privileged people, which anyone who gets to attend MBA would definitely fall in that category. It's nice to see MBA recognizing that you know, those that are really privileged need to give something back, and I think MBA seems to have done a really good job in that area.
I actually work, strangely enough, at our firm. Two of my partners were in MBA. One was 2 years ahead, and one was 10 years behind, or 9 years behind. And strangely enough, one of my assistant's husbands went here, about 10 years ahead.
Our graduating class was 35, and at our reunion, only one person missed, and he was at our 50th reunion, and he had something come up at the last minute in New York. Now, we've had 4 deaths in our class, but everyone else was there.
Gosh, MBA pervades my life, and you know, the associations that I made with MBA students, I can't really even say how important that is, because it's so important.
My folks had a very simple sort of desire for us. They wanted each one of the boys to be independent. I had 2 brothers, 2 younger brothers. Even if we made wrong decisions, Mother and Daddy did not want us to quake over an inability to cope or to live within our own peer groups. They wanted us to be able to make decisions, even if they turned out to be wrong and you had to change them later. They wanted us to be independent. MBA went further than that and set examples. There were mentors, there were teachers, there were all the names that now are on the buildings and are spread out. We talked about those folks. We talked about their own personal credos and the way they behaved and what they strived for. We talked about sometimes how hard it was to measure up and how difficult it was sometimes to make decisions that sort of bordered on morality or bordered on your own personal sense of right and wrong. That was important.